Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat, back with another use up a magazine kit, and it's another using up of scraps that I did whilst I was doing the tidying up. It was probably about an hour after I recorded the last video that I shared for this series. So I've been out, done some taxi journeying for taxi driving for my husband, and now I am using a technique that I kind of saw on my friend Sarah's Stamping Retreat on her YouTube of how to use up some scraps, and this kind of like mosaic-y type thing, but I had this sort of idea of leaving some tiny gaps in between all of the panels so I could put some gilding flakes. Now, some cases I didn't leave enough of a gap, and I sort of forgot what I was doing halfway through. So yeah, but it's just basically using up these teeny tiny little pieces of the paper to create a little panel that looks a bit like not block paving, well, you know, crazy paving type thing on the floor. And yeah, it's just quite good fun to put together all the little bits. It's like a little puzzle. Although anybody who knows me knows that jigsaw puzzles are not my thing at all. I do not do jigsaw puzzles. Yeah, I don't have the patience for them. But yeah, it is still quite good fun to do. And it just uses up those last few bits and pieces that were sat on my desk. I just didn't want to put in the pouch. I only wanted to put big pieces in the pouch, and I've now got to a point where that is what I've done. So I'm just going to take my gilding flakes and I am rubbing them into those little gaps where the adhesive is, and I'm just trying to push it in as many places as possible. And it's quite subtle at the end, but it creates a lovely finish. I'll just use my scrubby to just take any extra excess off, and then I'm just going to straighten up the edges of this panel, and this is going to become my background piece. So at this point I think, right, what am I going to do? And I decide, even though these green leaves do not look like they go at all, they don't look as bad in person as they do on camera. On camera it looks completely hideous. I promise you, in person they don't look quite as odd in how it ends up being finished up. But yeah, I just wanted to use a few of these green leaves that I'd already got in the stash. They're from a previous magazine kit, and then I'm going to use this little sentiment topper and mounting it onto this scrap cardstock. It doesn't matter what colour it is, because it's just going to be the base that's underneath it, so you're not going to see it. And it was just scrap cardstock that I'd got, and I thought, yeah, that works. First I was going to put in that sort of deep plummy winey red colour, and instead I decided not to, and to go for quite a green kind of card, a green and brown card. Probably would be suitable for a masculine card. I haven't done it as part of my Make It Masculine series, I've just made this card. So I took the brown that I'd got on my card on my desk, and I've made a card blank, and then I've taken that, I'm assuming it's Mossy Meadow type coloured green cardstock. I've run it through an embossing folder just to put some texture in, and I'm sticking it so it's the deboss side down, so it's mainly flat and there's kind of indents into it rather than raised elements. And then because there is a little bit of texture to that, I am just putting some foam adhesive down one side of this strip, and then using the scrap cardstock 2 layers to put on the bit that's going to be on top of the green. It doesn't completely even it out, but it just helps a little bit in evening out from the foam adhesive down to the bit on the right hand side. And then I'm just going to add in those little leaves and my little sentiment topper, some gems, and I'm calling it done. So dead simple, quite a fun little piece of work to do. And now I've only got bigger panels left to go back in the pouch for my magazine kit, so I'm happy with the job I've done. And I love the little tiny touches of gold that you can just see peeping through the little cracks. I think that's really fun. Please do pop your thumbs up if you enjoyed, subscribe to see future videos, and in the meantime, thanks for watching. Until next time, bye bye.